Hi Pisces, welcome to Tarot Readings by Roxby. I am going to do your weekly and general reading for the week of March 20th to the 26th, 2017. My new subscribers, welcome, and thank you guys so much for taking the time to subscribe to the channel. So keep in mind, guys, if the reading doesn't resonate with you, definitely, look at your moon, your rising, your Venus signs. Also, there's no gender. Private readings, that stuff matters, but not in the generals. And those of you that would like a private reading with me, all my contact info is always below the videos. 7 to 10 days as of now. Okay. So, all right, so the overall energy, Pisces, for the week is Four of Earth. I am using During Virtue and Radley Valentine's Angel Tarot. So with the Four of Pentacles, you definitely could be holding on to something, holding out for something, waiting on, maybe even someone. It's Pentacles, it could be something financial, it could be assets, money matters, a home. You're definitely waiting on or holding on to something with this card. For others of you, it could definitely be, you saving your money, trying to build on that security. That you currently have, but, I don't feel like we have the Five of Pentacles here too, and that's underneath this. And it is a card of feeling that lack, but losing faith, I feel like, for some of you. But with Seven of Pentacles, starting out the week, it's definitely, you waiting on maybe a job, promotion. Maybe that's why we have this energy here. It's like, you've put a lot of energy, of hard work. You've planted the seeds, you worked hard, you put in a lot of effort, and now you have to wait, for that harvest to come in. If you just keep working hard, it will pay off in the end. But now with the Five of Swords, this is right. This could be an aggressive energy, so this could be you, doing what you have to do, to reach that goal. And it could be that, with the Seven of Pentacles here, you really are sick of waiting. And I think that's why, you're taking on a more aggressive approach. This could be, you giving someone an ultimatum, this is it, standing your ground. You're dealing with some challenges. You want to be happy, but I feel like definitely your patience is wearing thin. And I did notice that the Nine of Swords here, so you're definitely worried, and it seems like a very specific reading. It's like there's something that you really want with the Nine of Cups. You know, you really want to be happy, I feel like. Definitely. You know, the Nine of Cups is definitely that wish fulfillment, abundance. But there's something that you are really wishing for. It's something that you are standing your ground on. You know, you're just, I feel like maybe done. You know, you're, again, you know, now if not me, if not, you know, you could be, you know, someone, you know, that you're thinking about, involved with. It could be even someone, you know, is mistreating you, or someone, you know, who is making you, like, wanting to play games. You know, with the Four of Pentacles, you know, it could be you holding on way too strong to this person. I do feel strongly, let it go. Let it go. You have, because I mean, it's very clear, just by these cards, I feel strongly that you have been waiting for this for a long time, really. And you know, it just, been waiting on a long time for this person, a really long time. You know, it could be your husband, your wife, you know, someone that you have been with for many years. But, you know, I do feel like you are, you know, some of you are ready to let go. You know, because in some way I do feel like it's lacking. You know, because the Five of Pentacles is right under this too. It's just, it's lacking. And yeah, there's a Six of Swords. Some of you are gonna let it go, and the others of you are gonna stay trapped. You really do need to let this go. I do feel strongly, Pisces. Whatever it is, you need to move toward really peace of mind. Honor your true feelings. Use your intuition. You know, definitely with this card, you know, your urge to listen and follow your true feelings. You know, not to betray yourself. Don't rationalize that it's acceptable, you know, to deny your inner true self. You know, that inner voice of truth. It's, you know, maybe you have that gut feeling, you know, that's speaking loudly to you. You know, your heart may be drawing you toward a particular location, a certain career, a certain type of relationship. But you may feel, you know, compelled to leave a particular situation that is unacceptable. But, you know, the time is now. You gotta let this go. You know, this card pretty much is telling you the same thing. You've put too much time into it. And all it has done is stressed you out, Pisces. I mean, really. It is just very specific. Emotional healing. As your heart heals of old emotional pain, you receive new blessings and love. You're healing old emotional pain, wounds, and the first thing that comes to your mind is exactly the issue that you're trying to resolve. As you let go of anger, guilt, all that emotional crap, you will awaken a new level of power within yourself. And it will attract everything that you're desiring, that you're wishing for. You know, this is emotion too. You know, it is an emotional situation, for sure. It's, you know, some of you really could consult a counselor with this card to try to, you know, if maybe this is a divorce that could possibly be going on. I mean, it's possible, you know, with this card that, you know, that could happen this week. If you mention it, bring it up. You know, that person just, you know, I know that's probably for one or two of you. But if you bring it up, they may just agree. Whatsoever you shall ask in my name, it will be given to you. John 16:23. What a beautiful clarification for that, for what I just said. Right? Really? 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 Ask that person. If that's your wish, is to save your marriage, ask. Waves of abundance. The mermaids and the dolphins. Guys, if I didn't mention, I am using Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine's Angel Tarot. All the rest of the cards are by Doreen Virtue as well, except for Whispers of Love. Okay, so new abundance and exciting opportunities wash over you now. The dolphins and the mermaids. This is abundance. You know, waves of prosperity. You know, it's great financial abundance, or, you know, coming into your life this week. Definitely pay attention to any ideas that enter your mind. Notice any out of the blue phone calls, chance meetings, unexpected messages, people that you run into. This card means you're on a success streak. And it's an excellent time to begin new ventures. You're going to see new doors open up for you. Could be clarity coming in. Really, that's a beautiful card. I love that card. Whispers of Love, Angela Hartfield. Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. The Five of Pentacles, when I said before about losing faith, that's don't do that this week. Try not to do that this week. Because no matter what's going on, you know, with this card, you are being reminded that, you know, love can endure all things. Take positive steps to definitely, you know, help create the changes necessary to get through this. Release your fear. Recognize that this love will last. You know, take a step back. You know, so you're more able to remember, you know, truth. You know, remember this truth that, you know, for some of you, you know, this love could last, but for others of you, I think you really need to just let it go. Whatever happened, really, you just, romance angels, deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. You know, probably lying, cheating. You know, I do feel like, you know, someone could definitely be trying to, you know, reach out. I always see this card, you know, it's where somebody's trying to reach out, apologize, maybe explain, communicate. You just don't want no part of it. If somebody doesn't. Again, you know, if it's not you, it could be somebody else that you're, you know, thinking about, involved with, but this, is very specific to let it go. Right down to the last card. Let it go. Let this new beginning come in. Just let it go. This week anyway. We'll look and see how it looks next week. Let's get an overall guidance. Pisces. March 20th to the 26th, 2017. Well, that didn't take long. Let me get another one though. That's specific. One more for Pisces. Alright. So the first one that came out was Yvonne. You have a special bond with animals. Your pets on earth and in heaven are watched over by angels. So, that's sad. I mean, if you lost, particularly a cat this week, or that you're going to, just know that they're watched over by your angels, and, your pets. Definitely, mostly a cat. I know what the card says pets, but there's a cat on here. Mostly, your pet, your cats. It's got to be for somebody who's probably maybe worried about their cat. Card falls out for a reason. Patience. Again, we have this patience. So nothing is going to happen this week. Now is the time to learn, study, gather information, enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action. So now is the time to just, this week, it's just patience. Take in what you could take in, learn what you could learn from the situation. Maybe, you will gather more information and you will, seek that counseling. But, the sun is rising. So there is peace. And, I think the Six of Swords was here. You are moving toward peace. Yeah, right here. You are moving towards peace, calmer times. But you're definitely, losing the faith. You're worried. You're doubting things are going to get better. Definitely, relationship related. I do think, just let it go for this week. Just let it go. Just don't even try to engage this week. Okay, Pisces? Unless, you think that you could, make this phone call. I would suggest doing that anyway, because you never know. Suggest it, especially if you're in the process of getting a divorce. Suggest it and see how it goes. What's the most that could happen? They're going to say no, right? Knight of Cups here. Anything is possible. Okay, Pisces. I hope this message helped you guys out for the week. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to view the video. I hope you guys have a blessed and fantastic week. Take care. I will see you guys back here shortly. Bye-bye.